Is your period cramp hurting you?
Are you clamping?
Are you cramping?
We'll stop it right now.
We'll stop it. We'll kill that cramp.
We can fight.
Whoa, performative male alert. You know what? Good. Make men start performing for women again. Men used to have to put in effort for women. They used to have to prove themselves to us, but now we're stuck with a bunch of grown men standing on elevated surfaces in clubs and demanding princess treatment. So I want to talk about and break down all of the controversy surrounding the performative male allegations, because you know what? I don't necessarily think that men having to prove themselves to women is the worst thing in the world. So as always, make sure you like, rage, comment, repost, and follow along for more. But yes, these started with these performative male contests that have caught on that are all in good fun, right? Very entertaining to watch. But this article gave a really interesting perspective on it. Because whilst the general idea of the contests are to poke fun at and call out like the toxic male manipulators that will wear this stuff like as a costume to try and pretend to be the safe male. You know, they're the wolf in sheep's clothing, and believe me, I know the type. I have dealt with plenty. And that is a real issue that needs to be handled. But the reason that this was silly, especially to a lot of us, is that all gender is technically a performance. No one besides societal pressure itself, right, is forcing men or women to dress any sort of way. Which is why I think stuff like this left pipeline that went around, and jokes that are positive towards women or supporting women, even if it's in a humorous way, are an important alternative form of content for men to have access to. And a lot of the trolls are responding, right, oh, they're just pandering towards women, they're just trying to get laid. That's always a hazard, of course. We've seen that before. But that ceases to acknowledge that I know for a fact a lot of these men, especially these two, have an audience of men, especially young men, who consume their content. And we've all seen the alternative at this point, right? Awful jokes just degrading women and objectifying them. Also, to call it performative, especially for these two guys, they've been doing this since as long as I've been aware of them. Though I will say Young Gravy leans into it more when Ari and Baby No Money are around. I think they've been good influences on him. But Baby No Money has been outspoken as long as I've been aware of him, and he has ironically a very similar background to me. He was homeschooled by his mother up until about high school, which is why I think he's very vocal on women's issues. And even though he's Canadian, in his live performances, he has changed the words around his songs referencing Elon Musk. He's been very loud about supporting artists and being anti-AI. And recently, he's been really focused on platforming LGBTQ+ communities and artists, and doing so with his newfound obsession with cosplay, which I understand because I used to be super into cosplaying as well until it became very expensive. Now, does that mean I think that all of these men can never do anything wrong ever? No, don't put those words into my mouth. At the end of the day, they're still human and men. But at the end of the day, I do support men who are showing all of these communities they care about them, and also showing other men that they should too.